And now my goddamn camera's out of focus again. I don't know why it keeps doing this. This is so annoying. I don't know why it keeps doing this. Hang on. Can you put me back in focus, please? Yeah. I don't know, fam. Like every other time I put this camera on. Okay, now you wanna whatever. Hi everybody. Happy Friday. I hope the day was restful and or productive for y'all. It's good to be back home. I got back on Sunday the 15th. No, Saturday the 14th. I'm sorry, time is fake. I got back on Saturday, but I was kind of fucked up, and the jet lag still had me. So I sat and I thought about it. I'm like, lol, yeah, ain't no way we're getting to that anytime soon. So yeah, we're here, we're vibing. Um, so yeah, I took that day off and relaxed. Um, so we kind of get back into the swing of things, though. Admittedly, I do have the unenviable task of okay. At this point, I think the jet lag is probably past, so jet lag isn't the problem. Really, in as much as I was trying to start better sleeping habits before leaving and didn't get a chance to start locking them in. And so, as a consequence of that, I have not been sleeping nearly as well as I should be. I'm going to bed way too late and stuff like that. So I have to try to get that. I have to try to get that train back on the tracks. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about what things are going to be looking like as far as Fighting Fridays are concerned. Also, hi Shan, hi Kettle. The short answer is that, basically speaking, I'm gonna try to take a step away from doing like rank play as much on Fighting Fridays. I realized that I kind of fell into a rut, and I think it has not been good for my ability to improve, my ability to enjoy games, my ability to like actively actually vibe with y'all in a way that feels authentic. Because I kind of keep throwing my nose at the rank grindstone over and over again, and I've been reminded, like two separate people really, that like there are ways in which ranked is really bad for your growth as a fighting game player, or just as like a competitive player in general. So this is one of those things where I feel like I want to change things up a little. So today, obviously, we're going to be picking up some Alex in Street Fighter 6, mostly just kind of feel out how he plays now, what he's like. I'm not planning on, of the characters that are left in the season, of the characters that were in this season's season pass, being very honest with y'all, Viper and Sagat, Viper, and Ingrid are the ones I was most excited for. Alex was always kind of whatever, but I figure try him out, see what he can do, get an understanding of how he works, and then I'll do casual matches like Elena or Cammy or something. But no ranked today, I think. Whew. I'm also going to look at trying to get more games back into the Fighting Friday rotation. I know that we didn't have. I know that for a while we at least had KOF to bounce back to every now and again, but like, I had to access. I just had to access SNK games altogether for the foreseeable future. For the foreseeable future, insofar as like insofar as like other games go. So, you know. So, what that means in terms of the short list, for all that I have some very specific gripes with Riot about how they handled the team for 2XKO, I've been thinking when Akali comes out, I might try it because I feel like I never really gave it a fair shake, partially because I just never really had the wherewithal to like actually give it a shot because they didn't. Yasuo was like maybe the only character I really was super excited to play in that game, so I might try it. I know for sure that we're gonna put Guilty Gear Strive back up and on once Jam comes out, just because it's Jam. I am otherwise not really motivated to do Strive again. I've been thinking about putting DNF Duel back in rotation, Type Lumina back in rotation. We have a couple of games that I can go and pick back up. It's just a matter of like, I just gotta find the drive to kind of play them again. So we have options, and I'll be considering them kind of as we're going forward from here, sort of see what's what. But today is Street Fighter, so let's be about that. Yeah. But yeah, how's everybody doing? Hopefully well. I realized I meant to ask that earlier, and I got distracted because my brain is empty. Mostly, I'm okay. Mostly just chilling. Even though I misinterpreted what any percent meant. I mean, I guess that also depends on the game. Is the thing. So it's one of those things where, honestly, it depends on the game, right? Oh right, sorry. Hang on, y'all. The game's not showing. Give me 1 second. I forgot we were playing custom robo last time, so that's why. It should be fixed now. Street Fighter 6. But okay. But when I do beat Dead Cells, I plan on doing 80% fresh file because it looks fun. Yeah. Whatever category you feel. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. I got a bunch of... I just got a bunch of... Oh, this is a dangerous thing to give a Mega Man Battle Network fan. Actually, let's do it. So we can do character guides, or trying to think about it. You can do character guides, or you can do combo trials. Let's do character guide, I think. Probably more important. Oh, do they give him his Jazzy NYC theme if you pick his classic outfit? Alex is a power character that gets in the opponent's face and brutalizes them with powerful attacks. Control the space with long-reaching attacks while using forward-moving attacks to close the gap quickly. Yeah. While enclosed, use an array of options for power stance to break down your opponent's defenses. Thought about Cage, but I know some narrative games, I'll not skip it. Fair. Flashbacks. Flashing elbow attack. Either using combos or as a way of checking your opponent. The medium version gets with power stance. Alright. And then the classic. So Flash Axe is new to Alex in this game. He didn't have it in either of his previous appearances. But Flash Chop is the classic. Even if Flash Chop is still blocked. Alright. Interesting. So, if you do the charged version of Alex's standing heavy punch, you can hold it to charge it. And it looks like the heavy version, yeah, if you charge it, so if you don't charge it, it's not cancelable, but if you charge it, it is. Interesting. Also, marathoning the Sonic cartoons, I forgot how Looney Tunes energy it is. Yeah. Overdrive comes out faster and combo attacks. Well, what's the input for it? Okay, so it just doesn't really matter which one you do. You can. Very good. So we're duking it out. Who's gonna have? Okay, and then you can also do power stance. Okay. So, basically a spacing trap. Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog versus... Yeah, Sonic Underground. I think Sonic Underground is a little more serious. Yeah, that's the one that you mean. Alright. Aerial Knee Smash. This is a returning move. Light and medium versions are the ones that are better suited for anti-air. But they don't hit on the ground. So light and medium are specifically for anti-air. Heavy will hit opponents on the ground, but it's slower to start up if you notice. Yeah, so the heavy version is a... I should check. Today's going well? Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good, Shiny. Right. So yeah, it's a little slower to start up, and that's why it's not as good for catching people out of the air. But the first hit... Yeah, I forgot to change it back from Carl at some point. And then OD... Okay, I see. Makes sense. Also, to be one topic, what's the most out there fighting game you played, and which one have you streamed? Out there meaning very outside the realm of fighting games. Bushido Blade is maybe the one that is the most out there, I would say. But I tend to stream more traditional fighting games. I don't usually do a lot of weird ones on here, I don't think. Part of that is admittedly that I'm very picky about that kind of thing with games in particular. So yeah, the weirdest one I ever played was definitely Bushido Blade. In terms of like what is the least like a fighting game, and initially I was like, it's not a fighting game, and it's not like a traditional one, but it's close enough. So light version is slowest, but has the most range. Medium is a little faster and has less range. Heavy is fastest, but has the least range.
You've got potential.
And then yeah, if you hit Flash Top, and then you do it, you get a different move instead. Hyper Bomb used to be one of Alex's super moves. In Street Fighter 3, New Generation, Second Impact, and Third Strike, Hyper Bomb used to be one of his super moves. Now it's just an extension from... now it's just an extension from OD... what's it called? From OD Powerbomb. Raging Spear. Swing Swiss Fit. It makes sense. Okay. So the uncharged version of Standing Heavy Punch is super cancelable, which is good to know. Edge Cross Hammer. Precious Home Heavy for the Lariat. Alright. So. Alright, a couple shout outs here. So, first of all, people who know wrestling and who remember Scott Steiner. This is an example of if you remember Scott Steiner, there's a famous promo that Scott Steiner cut where he basically infamously did something called Steiner math, which is where he was like very deliberately, like for the camera, like basically adding up a bunch of percentages and went way over 100% while saying some very silly things. It's really funny. So 159 and 2/3% chance is literally referencing Steiner math here. The other part of the lariat, Alex's critical art in Street Fighter V basically had a section where he would lift you up while diving upward and then like dive down and tombstone you. So essentially speaking, this move, the Sledge Cross here, actually, Sledge Cross Hammer basically reenacts part of that.
Nice one.
Just much faster. And as you can see with Sledge Cross Hammer, it does in fact wall splat if it hits an opponent in the air, like it said with the explanation. So very useful in that sense. Omega Wing Buster. I don't know how much mocap Kenny Omega did for this game. Kenny Omega is a wrestler. He was actually in the promo material for the season pass for this season of Third Strike. So he dressed up as Sagat and Viper and Alex and Ingrid in that, and is basically a big Street Fighter fan. So the Omega Wing Buster is a shout out to his finish. One of his finishers, I believe, is called the One-Winged Angel, named after exactly what you think it is for the reasons that you think it is. Yes. I believe that at the very least he did the mocap for at least this game. Well, a new game for me to look up. I love weird games, especially weird in this genre. Yeah. Alright, let's try it out. Okay, so you do okay, and then you just do 2 punches afterward. Alright, so So it does still require 2 super meters to use. So you do. It doesn't work off of a regular one. You got to do OD power. So. But specifically, not even like a regular one, you gotta do it back. So you gotta. So, fun fact. Much like how Ken, when he does the Shippu Jinrai Kyak in this game, Ken actually has a cross lightning reference to the Super Spark Flash from Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. Alex has the same one. If you look very carefully while he's doing, right when he's like over the limit, which I think is one of his V-trigger quotes from Street Fighter 5 also. You do, hang on. Right there, see how it did like the 2 behind him? That's it. And then the final person. Let's take a look. Chokes the opponent out after hitting the flash shot. Alright, so fundamentals. My throws do some wild damage, but you ain't gonna find many opponents, stalk them, hunt them, leave no place to escape. Yeah, the big boot from Alex's standing heavy kick has always been one of his kind of like classic standout buttons, if you'll pardon the pun. Bodega quality damage. Yeah, it's good to know though that standing medium kick has that kind of reach. Crouching medium punch does that. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, Alex being able to charge his standing heavy kick, I think has been a thing for like a hot minute. That's not new to this game. Right. And when they jump, aerial knee smash, or crouching heavy punch. Let's see how. Yeah, Alex's reaches up pretty fucking high. Well. Prowler stance, you'll have access to attacks with shoulder. So, shoulder launcher. This move, that used to be one of Alex's command normals. I forget which one it used to be. I think it was like, maybe like 3 HP or something. But that used to be a command normal. Now, it's locked behind Prowler stance. Which they haven't explained yet. Hunting with Prowler stance, low profile stance, truckload. Wicked good. You got stuff to sneak through defenses and others that'll overwhelm anyone. Slash elbow used to be a charge move that Alex would have. That would let him kind of cross distance the way that he does here. And same thing with air stampede. It used to be a down up charge. Slash elbow used to be like a back forward charge. Oh wait, I need to step back a little. Okay, so power stance is that. Lariat. Shoulder launcher is that one. Alright. Interesting.
You've got potential. Nice one.
Okay, and I see. Heavy Lariat when held has armor on it. Okay. Okay, I see. And if you want to stay in Prowler, you can use... You can use the jab ones. I see. And then you can use out of Prowler, you can use Light Kick, Fake, Stampede. I wonder, does it also let you... I don't know if you can control the distance as well. I don't think you can control the distance as well when you fake Stampede. Interesting though. Hyper takedown and dangerous armbar. Okay, I see. Alright, I see. Prowler sense. You can also... Okay. Yeah. So, medium flash axe is cancelable into it. Charged heavy kick is also cancelable into it. Medium flash axe does it. OD flash chop does it. Other target combos do it. Okay. Okay. I see. Yeah. Can't block in Prowler stance. So basically, like, armor is your only real way to deal with stuff if you're there. Okay. If you got a Black to Oblique Stomp or Power Bomb is going to give you some different looks, so... Okay. And you keep the side, which is the other important part. Okay. Hang on. Confused explanation. Which one's a big stuff? Okay, so after flash chop. Alright. But how do you do a leak stomp normal? Oh. It's just... Okay. So Bleak Stomp is normally just 4 kick, right? You just do back and medium kick, and you do it. So the idea is though that if you get like a flash chop and then you... So, it looks like basically the way they handle it for certain things with heavy flash chop is that they just let you straight up cancel. I believe in the older game, I believe in like some of the older Street Fighters, you actually have to time it as like a link in order to get that to, in order to get like, back those off a flash chop, I think. Do not quote me on that. I have not played enough Alex to be sure. So Bleak Stomp looks like he's just a thing where he just straight up gets to cancel into it off of a successful heavy flash chop, or after a successful flash chop. Sorry. Probably also works with OD, I guess, maybe? But I don't know if it'll actually, probably won't hit. Yeah. So this one you'd want to do. I don't have the meters, but you would want to do the super off of that one usually. And then power bomb. Switch sides. So you use the leak stomp to keep sides, power bomb to switch sides, which makes sense. Essentially speaking, it lets you decide what side you want to keep. So in situations where Alex is in the corner, if you manage to hit with like a heavy flash chop, if you manage to hit with a flash chop when your back's to the corner as Alex, use power bomb afterward, and you're out of the corner. Side switch, right? You put them in the corner instead. I'll demonstrate this in training mode in a little bit. Yeah, so basically speaking, right, and it looks like, oh yeah, counter hit heavy lariat also back turns, which I believe it also did that in at least Street Fighter V for sure, maybe other ones. Ooh. Ooh, that's nasty. Okay. Oh, that's nasty. That is nasty. So, punish counter, air stampede, there's a ground bounce, and then you get to knee throw somebody. Okay, I see. Yeah, Alex is interesting. Not my type of character necessarily, but he's got a lot going on. So I'm going to demonstrate the thing I was talking about with him very quickly, and then we're good. I'm curious about one thing though. Toki. Thank you so much, W, for the 69 months. Exclamation point hype in the chat, please. Yeah, so all of them are super cancelable. And flash chop. Yeah, flash chop's also super cancel. Makes sense. Alright. So, the situation I was talking about earlier. Hang on. If I can do this without my brain shutting off. Yeah, see? So if you're playing as Alex and your back is to the wall and you manage to get a back turn hyper bomb, you're out of the corner. If you have the opponent in the corner and you would like to keep them there, hang on, just do. And then you're good to go, right? So yeah, like I said, Alex is not like my type of character. So I mostly just kind of wanted to like feel it out and see what he's got. Cancelable, cancelable. Oh, those cancelable. I wonder. Okay. So, makes sense though. So for his heavies, you have to charge them in order to cancel the prowler stance, which makes sense. What all can he do from Power Stance? Because they didn't go over all of it in his. Let's take a look. Oh, have to hold 4. Okay, so you basically pick either one or the other. Low rush, low retreat. Flash elbow is forward. Palm jab. Shoulder launcher. Transition to falling moon on counter hit. Okay. Heavy lariat is plus on block. That's important to know. So tactical hop, you can attack while you're in the air. Air stampede, basically, and that's why you can't adjust, because otherwise it'd be wild. Sweep combination. Never takedown. Okay. So, interesting. Okay. I guess dangerous armbar, especially against people who are parrying, is probably... Yeah. Because, like, dangerous armbar only hits standing opponents. Maybe it does more damage as a result of that, but it feels like it's something that you want to bait somebody into, like, letting you pop. And then Alex, of course, has his chop. Oblique stomp is plus on block. That's good to go. Good to know. Flying cross chop. Classic. Alright. Medium punch, heavy punch. Okay, cool. Alright, good to know, good to know, good to know. Does he have extra throws? Yes, he does. Okay, lariat kick. Headbutt. Alright. All these things are good to know. Like I said, I didn't want to, like, get too deep into, like, the Alex minds here, because, I'm not really interested in playing him. I am much more invested in, honestly, Elena right now. Cammy, Elena, and maybe Terry. I feel like I want to be able to cook with Terry again. I kind of feel. Okay, so that is the way that it works. Basically, Alex's music changes depending on which outfit you've picked for him. You get Go Alex if you use his Street Fighter 6 costume, and if you use his classic costume, you get a remix of his and Ken's original shared theme from Street Fighter 3, Jazzy NYC 99. So I don't know. I'm not playing ranked tonight for anybody who missed that. I'm literally just gonna kind of like fuck around and just do other stuff. Alex's poor neck, he can barely see under his hair. Yeah. Alex look at Headbanger from Brutal Legend. Y'all are merciless. It's like, trying to remember my. Or it's this one. There we go. Oh yeah, I think you have to like get a launch. There we go. That's the trick. I like Terry, but I am also one of the things it only works from crouching. I'm like, I feel like you should be able to like get into burn knuckle from at least that. So I like Terry a lot, and he's really chill as a character in terms of like just like the stuff that he can do. But the main reason why I don't play him as much is because even with like some of the buffs they've given to like standing medium punch and crouching medium punch, his conversions are still a little awkward. You have to be very... Yeah, like there's certain spacing tricks that you can use with him in order to make sure. Like there are basically certain spacing tricks that you want to do with Terry in order to try to ensure that you get the right. If you're doing like, for example, like light power charge combos are probably like the most difficult thing, relatively speaking. With him, you need to be at about, depending on the distance that you're at, right? So here's the way that this works. With light power charge in particular, right? If the later you hit in the actual move, right? The later you hit in light power charge, the more plus frames you get. Because the idea is that with power charge, right? You have 14 frames of startup, 5 active frames, and 24 frames of recovery. So, if you hit, and this is true of a lot of other moves also, right? This is the same principle on which, like, meaties, for example, work, if you do them correctly. That's Terry's. It's forward heavy punch. It's like normally, right, with Terry's overhead hook, right? It's 2 frames, right? Do this again. Fail 2. I'm really bad with my meaties today for some reason, but the general idea behind a meaty is sort of like the same. So, normally, right, on hit, Terry's crouching medium punch is like, is +5, right? But, the main idea behind a meaty, which I can't do for shit right now, is that with a meaty, the idea is that if you time the move correctly, right, then when the opponent stands up into it, they wind up getting hit at the end of your active frames. So let's use round wave as an example, right? Round wave is normally on hit, round wave is +8, right? However, with the right timing, if you do a sweep and then round wave, you can get 3 extra frames. Because what's happening is, because of the timing of it, by the time Alex is getting up, if I've done round wave early enough, I've already burned through most of the startup frames by the time Alex is standing up and can be hit again. And that's the general principle behind how meaties work, and that is the same principle behind how light power charge combos work with not Alex, with Terry, right? If you hit at the right spacing with it, you are hitting with the end frames of the power charge, which means that you, depending on the spacing, right, you can get like +4 to +7, which then allows you to do, right, stuff like that. So, I can't do the particular combo that Terry has for it, but Terry does have a combo set up where he does, like, with just the right spacing, can't do it, but I've seen Terry's do it to me before, where depending on how you set up the buttons, right, with the correct spacing or otherwise, you can in fact set up. So yeah, like this is a good example, right? This one's incredibly tight. There are probably better ones, but like, you see there? Standing medium punch, power charge at roughly same thing, right? So like basically at the very tip of like standing medium punch and standing heavy punches range, right? So not when you're close, because again, the trick to make this work is that you gotta hit with the later frames, right? You can do stuff like that. This is not necessarily like a, if you can't do this with Terry, you're no good. But if you're trying to optimize your damage, learning and understanding it's not a thing where it's like, oh, if I don't learn this, I'm not going to be any good at playing Terry, right? But when you are trying to squeeze out every bit of damage that you can get, those things are important. And my sense of spacing has never been particularly strong, which is why I don't necessarily super enjoy that. So that's why I haven't played Terry as much. Viper, I have a similar thing with the way her feint cancels work. They're very cool, but like doing Thunder Knuckle cancels and things like that is very demanding on the hands, and and with her requires a lot of confidence in being able to micromanage your you have to have a lot of confidence in your ability to micromanage your drive gauge as Viper, because things like your high jump cancels, right, are very important for squeezing out damage, and you need to be very, very careful, right? Alex looks like Headbanger from Brutal Legend. I haven't played that game. But yeah, like, so even with like things like Elena, of course, also has her foibles to deal with, where it's like, oh yeah, you know, you really have to be very confident in your ability to like do like rolls with her and stuff like that. And you have to spend a lot of time looking out for people like standing up so you can like pop them and stuff like this, or even like Starling Beak and things like that. But like Elena being slightly more in the like law mid-range, annoy people with pokes and stuff like that is a little bit more my speed than like I can play an okay enough Terry is basically what I'm saying. Casual matches. Thank you. Yeah, I'll do with Cammy for a bit and switch to Elena. But like the main thing in particular, insofar as oh, Chash Kwando. That's a funny name. I like that. Oops. There we go. Got he. That's plus. Yeah, be careful about those jumps. Rhino Horn is not safe on block. Oh. Do it again? Nope. Got it. Didn't drop it. Way in there. How be the graps and what up, nerds? Oh, hey, Mojo. Not too bad. I just did a quick run through because, you know, I'm not... If I said I'm not a grappler player, I'd be lying, but it's very specifically that, like, Alex is not my type of grappler, even on the occasions I do play grapplers. But Alex looks like he's going to be very interesting. I'm very invested in seeing what the Alex fans get up to with him as they have time to adjust. I'll share my thoughts after the ad break is over, because I know that there are people who are currently in ads hell who may want to hear some things I have to say about it. Ooh, no, I waited too long. Ooh, I read him jump that time. Yeah, I had a feeling you'd do that. Ah, damn it. It wasn't in reach. I'm sad about that. Flip up. Did use that. There we go. Yep, it's too close. Good use of the throw there when I tried to drive impact on the wake up. Bop, 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 bop. Rhino Horn. But yeah, I don't think Scratchy would have hit there, so that was probably a good call. Ooh, good block. Fucking red! But yeah, so aside from the thing that we are not talking about, as far as Alex is concerned, one of the things that I did see yappers yapping about on the internet is like, Alex doesn't play a Galaxy anymore. And it's like, granted, obviously I haven't played against an Alex tonight yet, right? Oh, that was good. But by the same token, ooh. Nah, I should have just gone for SA3. I was thinking about it, but I didn't trust my force, and I got fucked up for it. Ooh, yep. Caught me standing. Yeah, it's gonna hurt. So yeah, like a lot of people like Alex doesn't play the same now, and it's. I feel like the main thing. Oh no, I messed up. Ooh, they tried to dash in. Unfortunate. The dash made it so they couldn't block, and that's the way they got hit by that kick. despite the fact that that dive kick angle is really terrible for me. Ooh. It mostly feels like the main thing that has happened with Alex so far is like how I can kind of like feel it out from what I understand of him is essentially they decided to not make him a charge character anymore, and so they offloaded a lot of like this is not something that I admit entirely this is not like a thought that's entirely original to me. I heard somebody else say it, but I agree with it. I just don't remember who said it. But it feels like a lot of the stuff that would have been like really committal with him before, as far as like, oh yeah, you have to charge to do this or this to do that. They threw that mostly into Prowler stance instead, in certain aspects. I mean, there's nothing on character changing all the time. People often forget reasons. Yeah, pretty much. Like Ryu, and that's the thing. Yeah, like to your point, Mojo. Yeah, I got hit by that. The main thing with Ryu is that, like, while he has always been a character that is more so, even in the earlier Street Fighter games, he has been a character who generally got a lot more play out of. I don't know if I got disconnected or they did. But yeah, like Ryu has always been a character who got more damage out of single strikes, but I get this is me like agreeing with you for clarity's sake. Yeah, my internet didn't. Yeah, so it might have been them. I could have had a server burp, but it looks very much like no. They're the ones who fucked it up. Also, before I forget, I Mubarak and Idolf, and of course have a good Idolf feature. I forgot to say that. So yeah. Also, Third Strike's nearly 30 years old at this point. Just fucking yeah. It feels way, doesn't it? I'd be sorry. Yeah. And the thing is that, essentially speaking, a lot of the things that kind of still make Alex very much himself are still very much has them, right? Like you still have like a lot of like backturn tech and stuff to consider. It's mostly just that like Prowler stance in particular, it feels like was very much there. How do we make sure that like Alex can actually apply pressure and be otherwise? Because Street Fighter 6 is just like a very fucking aggro game, right? Like we all know that. So it's one of those things where it feels like Prowler stance and a lot of the other stuff that he got feels like it is meant to try to let him keep pace with the fact that this game is aggro as fuck, and he kind of needs it. At least that is my very uninformed opinion based on what I know right now. Could be wrong, but we'll see. Also, hi Kaz. Hi, how y'all doing? Fuck. Yep. Good lariat. My anti-air is a little weak. I need to kind of like wake up a little on that front. But yeah, how you doing, Mojo? How you doing, Kaz? Hopefully you're both well. Good. Sleeping, no, I'm watching machines. Yeah, it's also game radical changes. I see. Yeah, like DJ, DJ, if I'm being very honest, was not a character I was afraid of in Street Fighter before this game. I'm just being real about that. Like, he was kind of just whatever. DJ is now the very definition of not kind of whatever at all in this game. very scary. And I'm doing good, thank you for asking. Good, good. Ah, fuck. Not dead yet, but it's gonna hurt. Nah. Even if I'd done a dive kick, I probably would've gotten hit by that. I was thinking about trying to dive kick, and I got standing medium kick instead, but I still would have died. Because I would have jumped, dive kicked right into Super R2, strike and roll, and eaten shit. Ooh. Ooh, almost had it. If I was a little closer, I might have been able to punish, but... I mean, DJ was Risk Out for years, now he just looks at that and goes, suck your mother. Yeah, it's true. If you'll pardon me for being so crude. DJ's a sweet bean himself and would probably never say that, but like, you know. Alright, the good thing is that this Zangief does not have meter for Super R3. The bad news is that Zangief having the extra help that he does, depending on how far I draw this out, I might let him get the resources to actually build up to level 3 Super, which is not ideal. It might be me. It might be me. Because, like, my internet isn't hiccuping here, but for whatever reason, whenever I come back here, I'm knocked out of casual matches, which makes me worry a little bit.
Here comes a new challenger.
So yeah, like, so it's early days yet, so people saying he doesn't play like Alex at all anymore. Way too early to say that. Also, you're scrubs. Generally, that's my answer. Okay. I'm not even upset. I literally got done up by like what? 3 OD lariats in a row? Oops. Reacted too slow. Alright. Is that a side switch? It is. Ooh. Good ducking. Yep. Well, had to break sometime. I'm not even upset. They got me out. That's fair. I gotta think a little more carefully here. Oops. Nope. Missed the light kick. Oops. Normally, drive impacting against jumps is usually a bad idea. You don't want to do that. I got very lucky that time. Nope. Maybe if I had done light spiral arrow and it had hit against the dive impact, I might have been able to make it. Maybe, but that's a big one. Yep. Good. Nope. I'm getting hit by the grappler jumps. I think anyway. Feels like it. So, for clarity, right? A grappler jump is when a grappler does a jump at a specific spacing, such that, like, especially if they have, like, big body, like, spread press, almost like Zangief does, letting a grappler jump at you from certain angles is a very easy way to basically get swamped by, like, body splash normals, or, as you saw there, right, if you adjust your jump correctly, there is a very good chance that when you do it, you will be just out of range for a punish. Okay, I see. Okay, that makes sense. So the answer there is probably to try to perfect parry the headbutt if I get caught with the meaty. But I also need to start doing that. Oops. Yeah, you saw that body splash? Yeah, and then I'm trying to jump too much. And that's not helping my kid. Ooh. I wanted that to be crouching heavy punch instead of standing heavy punch, but ooh. Yeah, it wasn't plus enough for me to press the button that I pressed after that. Even with the burnout. It's alright. I made a mistake. There we go. And this is the thing that you don't get when you're just grinding ranked all the time, right? You don't get the space to kind of like start actively working on the specific things that cause you trouble. Especially if you're doing them a lot in a match and you're not realizing, oh yeah, I'm doing that a lot. Ooh. I was not expecting to share on that body splash. That was interestingly awkward. Good use of the jump though. Jump into the body splash to catch me. Ooh! The jump into the body splash so that his hitbox would stretch out enough to punish the drive impact. That was wild, but I respect it. That's that clean shit. Lariat again. So yeah, like you don't want to, like you definitely do not want to, you don't want to drive impact headbutt because it is cancelable. So Zangief can literally, so like if you try to like drive impact head, yeah, I got caught, so I didn't jump. If you try to drive impact headbutt, Zangief can just like literally drive impact you back. So you, when he does it, you do not want to like actually. Yeah. So basically, essentially speaking, the way that I am going to come out better off against the Zangief if they'd kept fighting, I would have had to get way cleaner about my anti-airs. Basically speaking, if I kept swatting them with cannon spikes during the jump-ins, I would have been able to probably enforce making them stay on the ground and go from there. Alright, that's plus. Ooh, right. You charged it, so you can do that. Flash chop. Yeah, okay, yeah. I see it. I see the vision. I see the vision. I see the vision. I see the vision. I get it. Later, Shen. That's plus. Oh. Huh. Alright, gotta be careful about that one. Yeah, plus. Oof. Yeah, Alex put me in Prowler jail for a minute there, and that was actually extremely scary. Whew. Barely made it. If I had even a little less health, I would have eaten so much shit. Ooh, good backup. Spiral. Ooh, good jump! Yeah. As you can see, right, trying to press buttons after Flash Chop is usually not a good idea, because it's plus fuck. Yeah. Yeah. Prowler stance, he needed that. Like, especially given the way that this game is, this game moves too fast. Not that, like, obviously that's not saying that, like, it's not me saying, oh, charge characters can't go fast, but, like, with the pace of this game, and especially with the fact that, like, Alex has traditionally had these fucking long-ass normals and everything, having Prowler stance, especially for things like, oh yeah, standing heavy kick, charge that up, let that rip, haha, Prowler stance time, and being able to like do pressure with things like Flash Axe, OD, Flash Chop, all that other stuff. Very... I feel like I understand Capcom. I at least sort of get what they were going for here, and why they did that. I fucked up the spiral arrow. Ooh, messed the timing on the air stampede. Shame. Yeah. Last shot. Yeah. Ooh. The fact that I nearly got snapped. That power bomb literally would have snatched my birthday. I very nearly ate so much shit there. Okay, I see. I was expecting to move so quickly. Yeah, like that's the other thing, right? Yeah, like with Prowler, like the fact that like Prowler stance lets him do that shit to shuffle back and forth, and he still has slash elbow in Prowler stance, right? So it's like, all right, I'll step back, slash elbow, I'm in your face again, or I'll step back, air stampede. Depending on how I controlled it, either I'm right in front of you or I'm not. Oh. Oh. They did give it a little... That's interesting. Interesting. It looks like now... Or maybe it always had this past a certain point, I just didn't notice. But like... Oh! What a call out! Jesus! It looks like Cammy's Cannon Strike has the same lol, this is plus screen shake effect when you hit it at the right spacing that a couple other moves have. Okay, that's his target combo. That's why I'm getting fucking rumbled by that. Ooh! Yeah, I'm dead. Yeah, Prowler stance is so fucking sick. I respect it. Like, the fact that he can do the forward or back step and stay in it when he comes out of it, which then lets him transition into stuff like air stampede. That's so scary. Ooh, he charged it. And that's the other thing, right? Like, I don't know if I'm dead. This is gonna hurt a lot. I might be dead, I might not. And mind you, air stampede is plus on block. So if you block it, you may be fast, but not fast enough to beat me. Yeah. It's like air stampede is plus on block, right? So if you try to mash buttons after you block it, you're gonna get fucked up.
Here comes a new challenger.
Time for us to dance. No mercy for you.
Round one. Fight.
Oops. Didn't mean to jump there. That was an accident. Taka for Street Fighter 6. I might try her out if she were to make it. Ooh. Scratch? Nope. Oh, that's not ideal. Really not ideal. You do not want to be near the corner when you're burned out, because on the one hand, people do tend to get like a little bit, they start like, if you're burned out and you're near the corner, people start getting a little thirsty to try to like drive impact you. So it can be useful in that sense, but if you are not a player that's very good at like playing reactionary, that's not an ideal situation for you, really. You don't really want to be in a situation where you have to guess as to whether or not somebody's going to try to DI you or not. Oops. Either I didn't test it fast enough or I didn't get the micro walk. Nope. Good call. Plus. Good throw. Spinning side. Oh. I was not expecting to be able to get 2 scratch boots out. That's pretty sick. Oh, okay. It does give a little bit of a screen shake effect now whenever you manage to hit in a... It feels like that screen shake effect wasn't there for Cammy in certain aspects with dive kick. It is now, though, which is useful. I like that. At least I don't remember it being there. Doesn't mean that it never was, but... Speaking of additions, I'm really excited for Ingrid. Ooh, that was a good call. Ingrid is going to be very interesting. I have not gotten a chance to play her in Capcom Fighting Evolution, so I know about her. Like, basically, the only 2 ways that, like, you as a human being can play as Ingrid right now, you have to get Street Fighter Alpha 3 Max, or you need to play Capcom Fighting Evolution. Those are the only 2 games that Ingrid is currently playable. She was supposed to be in Capcom Fighting All-Stars, but that shit got, like, shit canned. So... in that game in particular, or in those games in particular, she has a projectile, a counter, a DP, I don't want to say she plays like a Shoto exactly. It's not entirely true. Her projectile doesn't travel straight. It kind of does like it's like a bubble that she throws and it doesn't arc and then pops at a certain spot. It does do a little screen shake. It does a little screen shake when maybe it might only be on heavy cannon strike, or it might just be when it's above a certain plus threshold, where it gives like a nice little screen shake on the dive kick if you happen to be plus enough, I think. Ooh, that would have been a good punish if they'd done the rest of it. Good scratch wheel. No, it's not. Ooh. Oh, good slide. Yeah, no, I messed up. I'm dead. So yeah, it's really interesting with Ingrid because like, given the way that her moveset works, ooh, good one. Yeah, and I pressed the button I shouldn't have. My fault. Yeah, I mean, they may be trying to do dive kick too much. It'll be interesting to see if they decide to like keep her projectiles and keep most of that. If they decide to keep her counter, all those other little things. Because I'm gonna be one of those people. I admit that I know of her and I like her. I think her design is pretty. I'm trying to think of the right word that I want to use here. I like it. I just think it looks cool. So it's gonna be, but I also admit that like I was not an avid enough Capcom Fighting Evolution player or Street Fighter Alpha 3 Max player to have a good understanding of the specific intricacies of her playstyle. So I admit that she's going to be pretty fresh to me, all things considered. Good scratch wheel. I need to do oops. Ooh, what a reaction. That's a good one. Ooh. That's supposed to be a Rhino Horn? I don't know if Rhino Horn would have hit. Ooh, I respect it. I respect it. The reason why they did Super Art 2 there is because for Elena in particular, the main thing with Elena is that her Super Art 1 has no startup involved because it allows you to do follow-ups and stuff like that. It'd be too good. So Super Art 2, when Elena has it, is her best option for like fireball punishes and things like that. In the way that like Cammy Super Art 3 is very good for that. It's gonna be fresh to a lot of people because of Alpha 3 Max being a PSP port, and CFJ being bad on top of old. Yeah, I'm mostly familiar because I'm an obsessive weirdo that's played those games. Yeah, it'll be interesting because I feel like her kit. I feel like her kit, as it is in those games, it's not bad, but like at least from what I remember of her kit feels a little scattered in certain aspects. I don't want to say all over the place, but like it does a little bit of everything in certain aspects, and it's like it can work, and I don't think that'd be a bad thing. I'm sort of just interested to see what thing they kind of unify it around a little bit. Because, like, that's... With Street Fighter 6 in particular, it feels like, to a certain extent, she could be incoherent to be put. Yeah, okay, I didn't imagine that then. Because I'm like, she has a count... I'm trying to remember. I'm like, she has the arcing fireball, she has a counter, she has the DP, right? A lot... Like, the one super that's just the bubble flies forward and then pops a little. And it's like, yeah, it doesn't feel like she has, like, that really... Like, there's nothing really centralizing about, like, the way that her kit has been put together in the games that I know her from. So it'll be interesting to see how Capcom chooses to handle that this time out. Oops. Good throw. I've been kind of going on autopilot for a lot of this, so I've been getting hit by like slides and stuff like that.
Cammy wins.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they unite it. I'm not going to try to make any guesses about what moves of hers they're going to keep or not. Because, like, basically the way that I also think about it is that, like, Elena in certain aspects also really benefited from the kind of, like, consolidation I'm talking about. Like, with Elena in particular, it's one of those things where, like, very specifically, Elena has always been a character that, like, benefits out, like, pressing people into making mistakes. But specifically, sort of like the way that they kind of centralized her design is around. Ooh, yeah, they centralized her design around high-low. Especially in this game in particular, my general feeling, as far as Elena is concerned, for example, is that they've centered her game around high-low mix, as well as to a lesser extent, Link's World mix-ups. Those are not the only ways to play her by any means, but like basically her strongest toolkit concentrations are roughly in there. Like the whole thing is that Elena wants to catch. So basically they put those two things together and combined it with the fact that she is very much a character who will like to dance in and out of your range and force you to make a mistake. So those two things on top of the fact that, like, you know, Link's World is a thing. And so like those are like Elena's kind of like keystones. High-low mix, and Link's World mix-ups, right? On top of like the other, whatever other like Street Fighter 6-ish stuff she does, as an example, right?
You're in my way.
Aha! Nope, I'm not dead, but yeah.
Elena wins. Round one.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Because like with Sagat in particular, they kept basically as his touch points range and bullying pressure, mostly as his. Not with projectiles so much, as his normals are still really good at bullying. And the addition of Tiger Nexus also makes it a lot easier for him to clinch in ways that like he sort of couldn't before, and he still has like classic like Tiger knee pressure and all that other stuff. But now he also has like Tiger Nexus in order to like actually like do like clinch pressure in ways that he really couldn't before. Which benefits him really well for this game because, you know, Street Fighter 6 is very much, again, very, very aggressive as a game. Oops. So it kind of suits him well to be able to use Tiger Nexus as like a clinch option. Not that he was like bad at close range anyway, but you know, more options. Ooh, no, I messed up the input. But even then, they did a throw as opposed to anything else, which means that they probably could have blocked doing that drive rush. Because Elena's drive rush, I don't know the actual like measured distance necessarily. But one of the things about Elena's drive rush is that its nature means that because I don't think Elena covers as much ground with her drive rush as a lot of other characters do. So it basically means that while it does serve as a disadvantage in certain circumstances, it does mean that if you are spaced out from somebody far enough and you do a drive rush and your character does not travel very far with the drive rush, it is very likely that you will be able to block again by the time somebody like does like some kind of wake up thing. Not the move I meant to do there. I wanted to do SA1, but I think when I was pressing the buttons, I hit both light punch and light kick at the same time, and if I hit light punch first. And I was standing. Yeah, that doesn't work. Unfortunate. So, you remember what I said earlier about how like Elena's Super Art 1 does not have any kind of invulnerability? That's why the Spin Knuckle hit. And the reason why Elena's Super Art 1 doesn't have any invul on it is because literally it's a combo starter. So if they put invul on that, too good. But that is why Elena has, for example, like OD Scratch and things like that. Ooh, yep, good. Ooh, yeah, it's too short by a little, and then I got hit. Ooh, yeah, it was good. Ooh, missed the chance to punish though. And that's why I didn't drive impact there. Like Super Art 1 might have worked. Super Art 1 would have worked if I'd done it. But I wasn't thinking about the possibility. Again, like I said before, right? Elena's Drive Rush, I don't know the speed of it, but if Elena's Drive Rush is still one of the ones that doesn't take you very far, it becomes risky. I want to do that. There we go. Much better. Yep. 1, 2, 3. Ah, yeah, nah. That's my fault. I was burned out. So, literally, my way out of that, I would have had to like react to Super Art 1, and I was not going to react to Super Art 1 in time to that. That wasn't happening. I'm not even upset. I got outplayed. I pushed a little too hard. Yeah, probably too predictable there. Yep. Yeah. One of the things I just wish I was a little bit better at is anti-airing. It is one of those kind of like struggle points that I do have in fighting games. I tend to get really focused on the ground game in front of a lot of other things. Ooh, fair. Ooh. That would have... I think that was either forward... That was either for overhead or forward heavy punch, I think. Depending, like, based on the way she was standing up, it was one of those two. Either way, not fast enough. Yep, with that. Ran a horn. Nope. Need to be careful about those, because if they react with a drive impact at some point, I'm gonna eat a bunch of shit. I messed up. A little careful. Yep. Okay. Whew. Close. Yeah, this is good though. I'm being reminded that other of my buttons exist, and that's very good. Yeah, good throw. Yep. Spacing might have been a little off there on my part. So, get inside. Okay. Hey. There. Yeah. Double scratch wheel there instead of like meteor volley for the setup is probably a better idea. I messed up the punish. Okay. So I like to do that. Ooh. Ooh, good scratch wheel. Yeah, I respect it. That was a good scratch wheel to keep me off, though. Alright, let's see. Ooh, good jump. Yep. Yeah. Yep, and that's why you don't want to drive. Like, if Elena's drive rushing at you and you see that funny little, like, scoop kick come out, you do not want to drive impact her because she'll just DI you back. Elena's standing medium kick is low-key one of her best buttons. It's much shorter range than her standing medium punch. But it makes her incredibly good for like meaties and like getting and like frame trapping people. Extremely strong button for her, which is part of why it's so short range. Because if it was any longer range, it would be kind of fucked up. Good step back to avoid spin knuckle. I respect it. Oops. I respect it. They tried the target combo from before. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, Meteor Volley, using Meteor Volley there, not actually a good idea. Aside from the fact that I blocked it, if I'd done something else, maybe the best case scenario that they could have gotten out of that was a trade. And that's like the best case scenario. Yeah. Have a drive advantage, but again, like Elena's main thing is that she very much wants to catch you standing up. If Elena catches you standing up and hits you with certain moves, you don't have a good time. I don't know if this will kill. I would like it to, but I may have scaled it too much and not done enough damage beforehand. Yeah. Now I have to be careful because I am burned out, which means I'm not low enough health that I'll get chipped out. And now I'm unburned out. So the advantage is mine. I immediately I don't need to rush. I just need to not get squirrely and press buttons when I don't need to. Yep, that's plus. Go ahead, take the pill. That was not plus enough for you to press the button after that. I expect that you tried. I'll give them one more. It's like 9:05. I want to do some other stuff before the night gets too late. Ooh, good overhead. But yeah, like that's the kind of thing I mean, right? Like, with Elena in this game in particular, right? She's very much, like I was saying, I know I've been saying this a couple times, but like, it's just on my mind. The fact that like Link's Whirl is very much here to sort of like reinforce the whole, yeah, like this character is here for like mind games and like catching you at funny angles when you're pressing things you shouldn't be, and also laying on pressure in her own way in that way. That feels very centralized around, right? You sort of, especially as you sort of understand the way this game works, like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Like, yeah, this is the stuff that she does, right? Plus. Good throw. Oop, I was too slow. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, because of the way that like Elena's buttons work, it is very difficult to sort of like try to push up on her in certain aspects, because if you're out of place or out of position, like her limbs will swat you very, very hard. And then you kind of just have to hold that shit. Yeah, I think I like this vibe a lot better. I think this vibe is a lot better. I got to actually sit down and really think about some of the things that were happening in the matches. I don't feel as pressured overall. I like this. I am thinking in my head that there's a very good chance that I want to maybe we'll try type Lumina back in rotation for Fighting Fridays. Type Lumina, DNF Duel, some of the other stuff. At least I'm gonna run around and see what's what, and see if I can like feel it out again. And we're gonna see about that. So I know that we have an ad break coming up pretty soon, so we're gonna wait a little bit. Oh. So yeah, I'm gonna wait a little bit. So for those of you that are here and would like to like raid out with me somewhere, please hang around for after the ad break, because I don't want to be like, yeah, we gotta rush go find somebody like right now. So we're gonna let the ad break go. While ad break is going, I'm gonna go, or Sin if you're here, or if I have. See, this is the annoying part, because in OBS it does not show me the snooze option, so I can't even snooze my own. I can't even snooze my own ads, which is annoying. But yeah, there are my links and stuff. Um, feel free to check those out. YouTube has VODs. Throne is for gift giving and stuff like that. I added a music player on there recently. Pretty much everything that's up on Throne right now is in fundraising mode. If you are so inclined, like do streamer gifts or whatever, Throne is a very secure way for me to get all that stuff. Ad break has started. I'm gonna let that go while I go figure out where we are going to go hang out. I forgot what I was doing. So, if you're wondering why I was staring off into space for a second, I was like, I looked at something on my Blue Sky timeline, paused, went, wait, I was supposed to be looking for somebody to raid, and then got immediately distracted because I saw a bit of news that really just had me like, huh. Oh, I know where we're going. I know where we're going. I know where we're gonna go. Also, I'm not gonna name names, but I'm looking at some. But well, no, it might actually be. Never mind. It is actually Warframe. I was going to say something snarky for a minute. I had to stop and look. Like, no, it is actually Warframe. I'm like, I really thought. I'm like, oh no, that looks like Soulframe. No, it's actually Warframe. I had to just like stop and take a minute and just like really look, because I'm like, that does not look like Warframe. Okay, ad break is over. Right, we're gonna go hang out with Pleasantly Twisted. They are currently doing some Bloodborne. I think whether or not it's going to be Cozy Bloodborne or it's going to be Sweaty Bloodborne, we will have to see. Either which way. Echo for hanging out with me. Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, custom Robo. Next Friday, I'll see if by next Friday I have actually figured out if I have a different game that I would like to play for Fighting Friday. Right now, speaking honestly, I am thinking very much about it being either Type Lumina or DNF Duel, maybe. like I said, we're probably not going to play Guilty Gear Strive again until like Jam comes out. Um, I could always pick up Exard, but like you have to like have a proper community for Exard. So I'm like, yeah, I'd rather play Strive. Um, Also, admittedly, like trying to play Jam in that game makes my hands hurt a lot. Um, but yeah, thank y'all. I deeply appreciate y'all coming through. Y'all kind of know what the deal is. Thank you for stream. Makes sense. I can't wait till Jam. Yeah. My hope is that they don't put that feckless bastard Robo-Kai first. I would be very, very happy if Jam was the one that got, or if they do them both. Either both at the same time or Jam gets in first. If they do Robo-Kai first, I'm going to be extremely pissed off. I'm not going to lie. But not so much so that I'm like going to be entitled about it, just really annoyed. But thank y'all for coming by stream. I deeply appreciate it. As usual, Black Lives Matter, trans rights, human rights, reproductive rights, human rights, Palestine, the Congo, New Caledonia, Sudan, and Haiti must all be free. Cuba must be free also. When I say that, I mean in the context of, because I realize that there are a lot of ways that they can be taken. What I mean is, you know, U.S. imperialism directed at Cuba, that needs to stop. It's really fucked up. None of us are free till we're all free. Look out for each other, take care of each other, do what you can to look after each other. Enjoy it. I'm looking forward to playing some custom Robo for y'all on Sunday, so please look forward to it. Let's go hang out with Twisted. Y'all have a good night, and I'll catch you when I catch you. Till then, deuces.